Hey Lamalanites, welcome to episode 2 of Video About Toy, the unmonetized, unedited, one take. This is actually the fourth take so far. Video about toys I have been collecting during my midlife crisis. Today I want to talk about a couple different products from a little company called Super7. First of all, we have the Mutagen Man here, part of the TMNT Ultimates, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates line. It's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows on this video series. I fucking hate this thing. I was getting back into the toy collecting, and I saw this guy solicited. It's like, oh, it's Mutagen Man. He's one of my... I don't care that much about the TMNT, right? But this particular sculpt, this particular character figure, one of my favorites of all time, just in across all toys. And this particular guy feels basically like a 3D scanned and scaled up reprint of the original. For better or worse, there is more articulation, but it's kind of like, why did they even bother? Because this arm, like, that's the range of elbow motion. You got wrist, you got different hands. The legs also is kind of like, why didn't they bother? There's no, I don't know. It's whatever. But now the thing about Mutagen Man, the Playmates original had a solid sort of fish tank body that his brain was in. And as you can see here, Super7 opted to make this bad boy out of two pieces of plastic, sort of jointed together. Not only does this look like shit, this guy does not hold water. The original held water, and came with some little plastic pieces of crap you could put in there and shake around. And, this guy comes with not only this unpainted sprue that you're obviously not actually expected to snap off, but he also came with, painted versions of these, which it's like, why? Because you can't put water in this guy. It's just going to leak out like he's pissing himself. These are just going to sit in the bottom of his body if you put them in there. Like the top, the top still pops off. Like there's, like no thought went into this. And and it was good sort of early in my adult collecting experience to get such a huge disappointment. The sale the sale images of this, you couldn't, I believe they were probably just computer renders, right? You couldn't see that there were these, that the plastic was clearly not going to hold water. I was like, I'm going to get a cool LED light. I'm going to put it behind him. I'm going to put like different food coloring in there. I don't care if it stains it. I'm 40 years old. Shake them up sometimes, turn on the light. Like, that's going to be cool. No. Stolen from me. And that's the thing about Super7, quote-unquote, Ultimates. It seems like there's always one thing that's just, like, drastically wrong with the figures. Like, I understand the Ultimates Krang cannot stand up under its own weight. One of my friends got one of the Ultimates Transformers because it was like the only plastic representation of the given character ever. And there's all this weird stuff about that, like what, just like choices in the sculpting that, like, why did they do it this way? So Super7, make your own decision, but based on this alone, I will never buy another Super7 product, which is too bad because they buy every license to everything. And they make a lot of products, and some of them look appealing, so there's going to be a little temptation there. But the other product I wanted to look at is one of the licenses that Super7 has is muscle. They own. I'm not sure if they do anymore. I think they have stopped making these, but at some point they owned the name Muscle. Millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere, which is one of my favorite toy lines of all time. Kiniku Man, Kinkeshi. One of the only, I kept all the really little stuff from my childhood. And these things like the Super7 reaction figures, these for a while were, ubiquitous in every comic store in the world, every record store in the world. Pay $10 for 3 little figures of like Alien or just weird licenses. But I got a bunch of these for like fell off the truck price from Entertainment Earth, and these two I'm very disappointed in. Like thing one, you get these out of the package. They have a like extremely gross feel to the plastic. Like they're almost sticky, but not quite. They feel like oily in a way that doesn't come off on your finger. It's very bizarre. It's hard to explain. But it doesn't wash off either. Like all of these I have put in soapy water and scrubbed. And they still feel like crap to the touch. I have no idea what that's about. The other thing is the detailing on these. I'm not entirely sure. Let's try to get a little better lighting, a little better focus. The detailing on these is truly embarrassing. Like, it's the sculpting and the level of detail in the sculpt is so, please focus, is so soft. This is an original Muscle, from the 80s, and it's like there's so much more detail. The plastic feels a lot better. There's so much more detail, and even this bootleg that I still have, this bootleg, quarter machine rip-off He-Man. I guess maybe that's Faker. It looks like maybe that's Faker. From the 80s is more detailed, has sharper, clearer, better details, deeper sculpting than these Super7 things. And it's really embarrassing. Had I not paid $25 for something like 50 of these little bastards, I would be even angrier at Super7 than I am. But like I said, not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Maybe from here on out it is. I think I only have good things to say about the other stuff I want to talk about. But Super7. It's too bad because they, like I said, they have things like they have like a Misfits kind of He-Man takeoff. The band Misfits. That looked cool. I saw that at like Toy Fair photos, and then I found out it was Super7. It's like, well, not getting that. But it's Super7 to me is a good company if you want to exchange money for plastic products of a brand. If you want to look at them close, if you want to kiss them and hug them and play with them, you're going to be upset. But that's here's sort of the rest of my Super7 muscles. It's who's this guy? Some kind of weird headless guy. Anyway, good night.